Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, and we have the trio here today. Gordon Chatterton joins me, and Gage Berdovich once again. And we're here for the Pick'ems, Week 6 in the NFL. Fellas, how's it going? What a wild week last week of picks. It's any given Sunday in the NFL. You don't know from week to week what's going on. And, you don't know from day to day what's going on anymore. Guys, how's it going, y'all?
I'm doing great. My team didn't lose or tie last week, so
I'm kind of in the same boat. This is the first time I feel like the Steelers actually won the bye week in a while, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, so, let's go ahead and let's just start it off. And the Bengals make a big move this week, as some people may say. So I'm wearing this hat right here because when Joe Flacco entered the league in 2008, this was the Bengals logo. So we're going back a little bit here, guys. The Bengals trade a 5th-round pick to Cleveland for Joe Flacco and a 6th-round pick. Guys, what are your all's thoughts on this pick first? Gordon, I'll let you go first, Gage, and then I'll give my opinion on it afterwards.
I hope history does not repeat itself from a couple weeks ago. Sorry, Brent. I said, though, Joe Flacco wasn't who beat us. It was Myles Garrett and that defensive line that beat us. But we did have 2 offensive linemen down on the right side. The guard and the tackle were both out. That does not help. But I hope he has a horrible game.
Gage, what do you think?
My first reactions when I saw the trade, I was like, one of 2 things is going to happen. This was before we knew that Flacco was starting next week. I was like, either Flacco's going to start this week and beat the Packers for the second time in just a few weeks, or Dylan Gabriel will start. Or sorry, not Dylan Gabriel. Jake Browning will start. And then Flacco will start on Thursday night against Pittsburgh and then beat Pittsburgh. So I really felt like either way, this was a lose-lose. And I feel like the latter part might still happen. But you wanted a new quarterback. You got one. Not who we thought it would be. Not Russell Wilson. Not Jameis Winston. But Joe Cool has entered again.
So I recorded a podcast on Tuesday with Steve from Sports by Compy, and we talked a little bit about NFL stuff and talking about what the Bengals need to do, who they need to bring in, who I would like to see brought in. I was all on the Jameis bandwagon. Like, let's bring Jameis in. Let's have fun for the rest of the season. And then as soon as we're done recording, we get off of there. I put the podcast up, and I get a notification from Ian Rappaport. And I'm like, maybe is there an extra T in this name? Is this got to be fake? That's no way that the Bengals have traded for Joe Flacco. And then you see ESPN reporting it, Adam Schefter. And I'm like, oh, no, this is real. This is real life. Gordon texts me and says, hey, he beat the Packers. I was like, he was the quarterback when they beat the Packers. I would say that, but he was not the reason they beat the Packers. My cousin calls me and he's like, what the F are the Bengals doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I get they're trying to get a quarterback. They made a move. That's cool. But that guy, like, how many other options are there out there besides 40-year-old Joe Flacco? Okay, he was just benched from the Browns just a couple weeks ago. 2 touchdowns this season, 6 interceptions. I know he's got a little bit more weapons out here for Cincinnati, but it doesn't matter. We needed somebody with a little mobility back there to kind of move around a little bit with that offensive line, and we get Joe Flacco. What are we doing here, guys? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why you go for Flacco when you've got these other options out here that would be better served than Joe Flacco, and they go up. And did you see how they got him to Cincinnati? Did you all see that story? They didn't fly him a plane, which is cool. That's fine. He's come from Cleveland. He just was on a plane because he was in, London last week. You usually get a bye after London, but no, he's going to Green Bay now. But anyway, they go up and they get him in a car. They take 2 cars up there, one for his wife and him, one for his belongings. And he's talking on the phone to Zach Taylor the whole way down to learn the playbook. So we're not going to give you a little flight down here to Cincinnati, which is cool, but we're just going to give you 2 cars to get all your stuff, 2 cars from Cincinnati or from Cleveland to Cincinnati, because we're a first-class organization here, apparently. Hey, learn the playbook on the fly. Let's go, Flacco. What?
Hey, I mean...
And while he's in the car, Zach Taylor names him the starting quarterback for the rest of the season before he even gets...
But you might not have to worry about that with the Cincinnati O-line. It might just be after this week, Micah Parsons might have 7 sacks and make Flacco retire after the game. So you might be back to Jake Browning come Thursday night.
I'm lost. I'm lost for words here, guys. I just don't know. I don't understand it. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I just don't see how a 40-year-old quarterback who was just benched by the worst team in the AFC North 2 weeks ago is now your savior for the season.
Well, if you want to look at this way, though, if he gets hurt, Vikings just released Desmond Ridder.
Been there, done that.
I bet he is more mobile.
Yeah.
Jake Browning's more mobile too, but I mean, he can't get the ball down the field.
You could have had like Tyler Shuck or Hunter Deckers.
There was better options. I mean, people was saying Russ Wilson. I just seen him throw a ball 15 yards down the field, or his receiver was 15 yards down the field, and he threw it 8 yards in the dirt. So I'm glad we didn't get that. But there's another guy over there that I would like to have. I mean, Anthony Richardson. I would have took Anthony Richardson at this point in time, guys. And we know on this podcast how much of an Anthony Richardson hater I am. But I would have took him at this point in time.
I think we needed like a Red Rocket reunite with the Bengals.
No. Been there, done that. I wouldn't want that either. Come on.
We're trying to give you options out here, and you're just no.
When's J.J. McCarthy coming back? Can we get Carson Wentz? I mean, that would have been something. Jimmy Garoppolo's available, guys. I mean, he may be starting this week for the Rams.
Well, again, you did say mobile, so I don't know if that'd be a good option for you.
Well, hey, there is a guy that hasn't been on your team. He's mobile. He has beaten the Packers, and he's out there available too. Colin Kaepernick.
I thought you were going to say DTR or something like that, and I was like,
no. I would not curse you with that. I said Colin Kaepernick.
Isn't your guy from Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett? He's available somewhere, right?
Yeah, he's with the Raiders. Although if Geno keeps playing the way that he's playing, Pickett might be starting soon. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there was other options out there besides Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco is what they went with, and they're like showing that they're pressing on his name and his jersey and revealing it like on the Bengals official website and everything and official Twitter, like it's the second coming of Joe Burrow coming up here. And it's like, okay, just because they got the Joe name doesn't mean it's the second coming, guys. Like, settle.
Well, you guys did say you were hoping Joe would come back for quarterbacks.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess we got what we asked for finally for once.
Yeah. You didn't say which Joe.
Yeah, could have brought Joe Montana out of retirement for all you know.
He would have probably been better.
He's probably more mobile than Joe Flacco is right now at this point in time. I don't know. But
Joe Namath is probably more.
But so Cleveland's making deals this week. They traded them the next day, or today, I think, they traded Greg Newsome to the Jaguars for Tyson Campbell. So, I mean, swapping defensive players.
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me. Neither one has had a good season so far in the first few games, but Greg Newsome, I think, is on the last year of his contract of his rookie deal. And Tyson Campbell just signed like a 3 or 4 year huge contract. I forget if it was this past summer or last summer. So that one I was kind of confused about. I thought Newsome was a good corner and better than Campbell, so I'm surprised Cleveland would just give up on him like that.
I'm surprised Jacksonville, would, I don't know. I guess that's a good deal for Jacksonville, actually. I don't know. I don't know who wins that deal, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess Cleveland was mad because he couldn't cover Justin Jefferson over the weekend.
Well, I mean, that's easier said than done. A lot of corners would be traded in that case. Then the Raiders or the Ravens, they make a trade too this past week. They trade Oweh away to the Chargers out there. Are they starting to sell off some players over there? I mean, he had a pretty decent year last year, Oweh.
Yeah, 10 sacks for Oweh last year, and a Ravens defense that is obliterated with injuries right now. And you're like, Oweh, you coming off a 10-sack season, possibly our best defensive player right now? Bye. Have a good career. I don't know, are the Ravens like all out? And I don't know why they would be. Like, they're without Lamar for a little bit here, but you would think you would want to try to keep your pieces together for when he comes back.
Well, did I see that they signed CJ GJ this past week? Or did I just imagine that? Either one of y'all, did y'all see that?
I didn't.
He did sign with the practice.
Yeah, I thought so. So, we've heard a lot about CJ GJ early on, in this summer. So, hey, maybe that'll help the Ravens out a little bit. That defense needs a lot of it.
I did not hear about this until just now, and it makes me laugh.
Very much. So, guys, the next thing I want to ask right here, have y'all ever ran wind sprints at midnight in Indianapolis? Just checking. If anybody has, just let me know.
I haven't ran wind sprints anywhere.
That's also a good point.
Just checking. Because, you could get into some trouble doing that stuff right there if y'all ever have ran any wind sprints at midnight in Indianapolis specifically.
Yeah, no, I mean, not Indianapolis, maybe another city in Indiana, but definitely not Indianapolis. I don't know if I would trust going down there. I might get in some altercation with somebody.
Yeah, and when the guy's begging for you to start thinking of the butt fumble instead of being stabbed in the middle of a parking lot, you've got some issues. So what a crazy story that was, right?
And what a weekend for Jets fans.
Right? Like, you got the game they played. They're one of their Sanchez quarterbacks at one point in time, and man, yeah, what a wild weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rex Ryan told him, said, run to the hole, and then when he hit, he goes, wrong hole.
Yeah, and then man, just a strange story right there. Just 69-year-old man just dropping grease off. Yeah, all right. So that'll bring us into our next segment here, Gage, and that would be it's the time, man. I don't know how many you've had this week, but let's do it.
From turf to tears, it's injury fears. Who's sidelined this week in Gage's fantasy sphere?
So you got injured this week, Gage.
So actually, nobody knew, which is very nice. But we still got Aaron Jones on the IR. We got Lamar Jackson questionable, not doubtful, but he did not practice today. So I'm leaning towards the no side of things. And then the one that has a possibility, apparently, to come back is CeeDee Lamb. He's upgraded to questionable, which is a lot better than the doubtful. However, he did not practice today, according to this. It says he continues to focus on resistance training versus actual drills on the practice field, and he'll have just one more chance for on-field work Friday before they potentially make a ruling on his availability for Week 6 action. If you're not taking on-field drills yet, I have a hard time believing you're playing this week, considering it is currently Thursday as recording this. Surprisingly, is all for injuries. However, we do have a lot of bye weeks this week, namely 3 of my starters. Actually, 2 of my starters. Aaron Jones, IR, starter, not starting for a while. The Texans defense, who, they've been very good this year. They just came off a very stellar performance, one could say, against a Cooper Rush-led Baltimore Ravens. And then we also got Nick Chubb. And if anyone's been following along with this, we know that my running back situation is horrendous. So Nick Chubb will not be starting, obviously. Zach Charbonnet will not be starting. He is sitting on the bench. We are rolling with Michael Carter and Travion Henderson. Antonio Gibson out for the season now. Henderson, I suppose, will get more touches. I certainly hope so. And then to replace the Texans defense, we dropped Jackson Dart, which after his performance tonight, not that good of an idea. But we went and we took the Indianapolis defense. 6.98 projection, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, we saw it last week against Tennessee. They stumbled and fumbled and got scored on interceptions. So it's a time, but I really hope that the Colts can come out and Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't have a game against them. But it does suck starting Michael Carter and the team he's going against defense.
Yeah, so not a lot injury-wise there for you this week. The only injury I've got on mine is Lamar and, of course, CeeDee Lamb. Other than that, I'm pretty healthy. I got Cam Scattaboo in there, and he had a pretty nice night tonight for me, so that's a good start for Thursday night for this week in fantasy. Gordon, you got any on yours there?
Yep, I got one. Murray and Hampton.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I lost. Now, I dropped Jackson Dart too, but I picked up Wan'Dale Robinson.
That worked out good.
No, I left he was on the bench.
Yeah, well, that would have helped out.
All right.
Yeah, it would have, yeah.
Oh, well, so that is our injured segment here. Not a whole lot this week. Gage, we're doing better than last year so far in this on the injury. But
yeah, knock on wood, fingers crossed that everything stays relatively healthy. I am surprised, Gordon, with Hampton out, that you didn't go for either of the potential starting running backs with the Chargers.
Oh, no, I do got one. I put him on reserve. I've got Hampton. I got Haskins,
Haskins, okay, yeah. Don't know who's going to be the starter for him, but
they're going to split carries, so.
Yeah.
I've noticed a trend here, Gordon. I don't know. I don't want to scare you away with anything here, but Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton, Haskins, all start with an H. So just be careful out there with that for the Chargers running back this year.
Will do, buddy.
Oh, and before we get into our picks and what we did last week, we're going to take a minute to talk to you about this episode of Yelling from the Couch is brought to you by Dubby Energy. If you're tired of feeling like a preseason backup halfway through your day, it's time to get in the game with Dubby. The clean energy drink made for gamers, athletes, and sports junkies just like us. No sugar, no crash, no jitters. Just pure focus and energy to get you through those late-night film sessions, long editing days, or Sunday afternoon meltdowns when your team blows a 14-point lead. They've got flavors like s'mores, tiger blood, purple Dub sauce, and my favorite, Grandpa's denture water, and many more. And they all hit harder than a linebacker on 4th and goal. Go to Dubby.gg and use the promo code YELLING. That's YELLING to get 10% off your next order. Dubby Energy. Be better. Be done. All right. So that leads us into our next segment here. And guys, last week, our picks, week 5, Gage went 5-8. I went 6-7. Gordon, 5-8. Overall, 47-25-1 for me, 43-29-1 for Gage, 41-31-1 for Gordon. Guys, we got to pick it up a little bit here. I mean, we're all sub 500 this week. What a horrible week of picks for us last week, Gage. What do you think?
To be fair, what just a horrible kind of slate of games last week as well. I mean, I think we said it during the podcast. Like, there was no game really that we were like, I'm excited to watch this one, besides for me with the Saints Giants, but that was a whole different story. You know what? We get like a mulligan with these picks. It's the first time this season we've had a bad week. I don't recall us ever having a real bad week last year. So I think, you know what, everyone's due for a bad week. It was basically our bye week in picks.
Yeah, Gordon, this would be the time for you to go ahead. And I mean, you went 5-8, so I mean, nothing great or anything on your end, but you did call the Panthers win last week. Me and Gage mocked you for it heavily on here. You have the floor now to let us have it.
No, I ain't gonna do that. It happens. I made a lot of bad picks. I made a bad pick too. Let's go. We'll bring that up too. Remember, I picked freaking Jets over the Cowgirls, and oh my God, was that bad?
It wasn't good.
I mean, that was almost like getting drop kicked by your grandma bad. I mean, that was horrible.
Yeah,
I got close on the Browns pick too. They actually should have won the game.
Yeah, that was a game that they should have won there, and Carson Wentz goes out and gets the win, with Justin Jefferson out there. But what a rough week, everybody. I thought, who was the Monday night or the Sunday night game? If the Bills would have beat the Patriots or the Chiefs would have won, I'm at 500, over 500 at least. But it swings the other way, and here we are. We're all under 500 for the first time this year.
Man, that's crazy.
Any given Sunday, you just never know.
You can almost smell the stench from our podcast, from our bad picks.
But we will make it better this week. We will be better. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's get into them. And let's start off with the first game of the week. Oh, and the Giants just defeated the Philadelphia Eagles. If we're talking any given Sunday, let's go ahead and get it out of the way right now. Any given Sunday, the Giants 34, the Eagles 17 on Thursday Night Football. The Eagles had a players-only meeting earlier in the week already, and it did not help at all, guys.
Well, there was only 3 people in the meeting.
Might be the problem.
Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and AJ was only 3 in the meeting. And it wasn't even a meeting. They met out in the parking lot on the way to the car.
Sounds like a Joe Flacco, Zach Taylor meeting to me, sounds like.
I just got a what the F is this OMG from my local Eagles fan.
It was a beatdown. Jackson Dart got him. Without Malik Neighbors, without Darius Slayton, and you double up on Philly, who is healthy for the most part.
But you know what this means, right? The next time they play later in the year, Philly's just going to absolutely smoke them.
Yeah,
they might run the Twitch push all game long.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only success they had tonight, though, actually, to be fair. Although A.J. Brown did have how many yards? He had close to 100.
80. He had 80.
So his best game of the season.
By far.
By far. Dallas Goedert got like 8 catches. So, I mean, Hurts was throwing the ball around, but their bread and butter's running game, and they just couldn't get it going a whole lot tonight.
Goddard's on my bench, too.
Oh.
But my starting tight end in that league is Jake Ferguson.
I mean, that's a decent one to have with the way the Cowboys are playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we start off with the first game of the week this week, and that is the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets at 9:30 a.m. on the NFL Network, live from London. Denver is a 6.5-point favorite. Gordon, do you like them to cover this against your New York Jets?
Oh, no. I'm never picking the Jets again unless they play the Titans. Never. I mean, they could play the Girl Scouts, and I'll pick the Girl Scouts over the Jets. Denver wins, and they cover. And I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be that close.
Gage, who you like in this one here?
You know what? Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's get it out of the way early. Give me my pick of the week. Give me the New York Jets to go into London early morning. None of us are going to be watching the game. That's why they're going to win, because no one's going to see it happening. Give me the Jets. Give me the underdog. Obviously, with that, they cover.
I'll watch it. I watch it Sunday morning.
Whoa! Already getting the underdog pick of the week out of the way early. Gage, you do realize who's playing in this one, right? Just checking.
Yes, but I also figured that they're not nearly as bad as the Cleveland Browns and Detroit Lions from years ago when they went just about defeated. So I figured they got to pick up a win eventually, and this will work out sometime in one of our favorites.
The Denver Broncos defense has looked really good early on in the season, like we expected. We expected that defense to look pretty good. I mean, they got the reigning defensive player of the year and Patrick Surtain back there. On the other side, Bo Nix is starting to get things going now, finally. It took him a little bit to get going. He's got it going. On the other side, the Jets, you think we had something going between Fields and Garrett Wilson? And then, like last week, I don't know, Aaron Glenn, I don't know what you're doing over there, man. You're a defensive coach. I know the Cowboys got a really good offense, but, I mean, you got to put up a little bit more of a fight than that against them. I like the Broncos in this one. I think the Broncos cover. I think they win by at least double digits. So I'm rolling with the Broncos here in London.
I also think the Jets get their first turnover on defense of the season this week.
Yeah, how are you a defensive coach, head coach, and you don't have a turnover through 5 weeks of the season just accidentally?
Yeah.
You know, come on. All right. Our next game we'll go to is going to be a 1 o'clock matchup, and that'll be the Arizona Cardinals travel to Indy to face Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. 1 o'clock on Fox. Indy's a 7.5-point favorite. Gage, we'll start with you this time. Who you like in this one? I don't think Kyler's questionable. I don't know if he's playing or not.
Whether he's playing or not, that's not going to change my answer for this one. This is my Michael Carter, Trey McBride versus the Indianapolis Colts game. For me, yeah, let's not do what we did in the first game. Give me the favorite. Give me the Colts. And 7.5. Cardinals like to keep things kind of close. I'll take the Colts win, but the Cardinals to cover.
Gordon, what do you like?
Well, when I first looked at this game, the Colts were 6.5, so the line moved again. Probably because Kyler Murray's questionable, might be out. But I got the Colts winning. But I think I'll go with Gage. I don't think they'll cover. They would have at 6.5, but I think they're going to win by 7. I think they won't win. They'll win by 7, but they won't cover the 7.5.
Guys, before I get into my pick here, let's talk about the Cardinals game last week, right? How do you go 72 yards on a run, and before you make the end zone, this is the battle of the two teams that just threw the ball away before they got in the end zone, right? Mitchell did it last week. DeMarcado did it this past week. They're playing each other this week. I bet it doesn't happen this time. But how do you go that whole time and do that? Keep Tennessee in it a little bit. Then Cam Ward comes in the next drive when they're down 9. And they fumble the ball. They kick it around a little bit. And Tyler Lockett just ends up with it in the end zone. Like, what a company of errors that was.
That was worse. Probably worst play in NFL history. I'll give it the title of. Worse than the Sanchez butt fumble. Worse than the Indianapolis Colts with Pat McAfee fake punt against the Patriots type of thing. How do you do that? You intercept the ball like, all right, and then fumble it. It felt like 15 yards backwards into the end zone, and somehow Tyler Lockett's right there, and he's like, mine.
Johnny on the spot. Was you getting ready to say something, Gordon, there?
That's what I was getting ready to say. I said, how in the world do you intercept the ball, fumble it, kick it 15 yards, and it's covered by somebody else?
Yeah, the opposite team.
Yeah.
And the Colts are back on track. The only loss so far was the Rams, and they were close in that too. If Mitchell doesn't fumble, who knows, right? So I like the Colts in this one. I think they're going to cover here. I think they win by about 10 because I don't know if Kyler's starting. I can't even tell you who the backup quarterback is for the Cardinals right now. Who is it?
Jacoby Brissett.
Okay, Jacoby Brissett. There's a quarterback I may have taken over, Joe Flacco.
But looking at their official depth chart, the only quarterbacks listed are Kyler and Jacoby. So if Kyler is out, who's Jacoby's backup is my question.
I don't think it's going to matter much in this one, though. But give me the Colts, and I think the Colts cover in this one here. But, man, the Cardinals, you guys should be, 3-2 right now, and instead you're awful.
And you should be embarrassed.
Definitely should be embarrassed. The Titans, we'll talk about them after a while, but the next matchup we got, and talk about a team that's kind of struggling right now, and that is the LA Chargers. They'll travel to Miami to face the Miami Dolphins at 1 o'clock on CBS. The Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite. Gordon, What do you think about this one here?
I can't really say don't have much thought of it at all. I think the Chargers will win and they'll cover, but I don't know why. I have no faith in.
Yeah.
They find more ways to lose than most people find ways to win.
Yeah, we laughed at you last week when you went against Miami, but Gage, what do we think here?
So I just got to say, there was no excitement in the Dolphins-Panthers game, besides for two things. One, Rico Dowdle looking like prime Adrian Peterson and that Dolphins defensive line, which is why I'm very, thinking about Hassan Haskins or Kamani Vidal for the fantasy team. Maybe I just start them both and see what happens. But number two, I also want Eric Collins to be the announcer for every single NFL game ever for the future, because he made the most boring game of the week the most exciting game of the week. I obviously did not listen to it until it hit TikTok and Instagram and was like, yes, this guy needs to be on the Super Bowl. Put him with Gus Johnson, and we might just be running laps for days around buildings being so hyped up. But to the game, the only guarantee in this game I feel is for Darren Waller to score a touchdown. Outside of that, I'm going to go just with Gordon. Give me the Chargers. Give me the points. I know the Chargers offense didn't show up after the first quarter last week, but they're playing the Dolphins, and Miami just ran a stampede through them. So give me the Chargers, give me the points.
Yeah, the Chargers are kind of on a little bit of a slide right here the past couple of games and haven't really looked themselves. But they make a trade this past week. They get away on defense, but I don't think that's going to help much on the offensive side. They lose Hampton, which is a big loss, but they're going across country, early game. Does that matter? I don't think it does. The Dolphins last week, should have beat Miami or should have beat Carolina. They was up 17-0 and completely blew that game. Like you said, Darren Waller's just about guaranteed for anytime touchdown now. Welcome back to the league, son. He's playing really well. Stepping up for Tyreek being out. Jalen Waddle had a pretty big game last week too. They got the weapons over there. Like Miami's got the weapons to do some stuff on offense. They just can't get it done. I think the Chargers win this one too. I'm with you guys on this, and I think that the Chargers will actually cover this. And what should be, we still won't figure out what the Chargers are after this game, I don't think.
No.
Our next matchup, we've got the New England Patriots coming off of their big win at Buffalo, traveling to New Orleans to face the 1-4 New Orleans Saints at 1 o'clock on CBS. New England is a 3.5-point favorite on the road. Gage, you like another upset here?
I mean, I don't know what I could really call an upset in this game. Obviously, the Saints winning would be the bigger upset, but I think the real upset is just having these two teams play each other. The Saints last week against the Giants, finally getting a win, 26-14 over Dart, Scatterbo, and company. Pretty nice. I think I hyped up the Giants a little bit too much on this podcast last week, just to be shut down by. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the tiny finger gesture. That was nice. But to be shut down by Spencer Rattler, Rashid Shaheed on an electric 87-yard touchdown that I did not get any points for because he was sitting on the bench. But the Patriots, like you said, beat Buffalo, and what was probably the most surprising event of the week. I'm going to go with the Patriots, but I don't feel good about it. Like, give me the Patriots, and I'll take them to cover as well.
Gordon, what do you think here?
I got the Patriots covering. I like the way they played. I like the way Mike Vrabel's got the team playing. The defense is actually playing like they've actually got a backbone and they've actually got some fire in their butt. I like the Patriots to cover. I'd even go as far as saying by more than 7. I think Spencer Rattled is going to be just that. I know I changed his name to Rattled, but whatever.
Hey, the Saints, nobody can explain how they won that game last week there. The Giants got up early and then didn't do anything the rest of the time. Gage's guy, Rashid Shaheed, I'm pretty sure he's on your bench somewhere in fantasy, right, Gage? Had a big game. They played pretty good, though, the rest of the time, the Saints did. The best they've looked all season. They looked pretty good the week before against the Bills, but the Bills kind of pulled away late. The Patriots coming off of a big win will be a letdown coming into New Orleans. I don't think so. I don't think Vrabel will let that happen. Vrabel's a really good coach. Like you said, defensively, he's got them going pretty good. Running back, I still feel like you got to get Travion Henderson involved a little bit more than what they are. Maybe they will now that Gibson's out. Yeah, Gage shaking his head because fantasy reasons. But can we also say booty rocking everywhere last week? He had a pretty good game for New England Patriots. I like the Patriots to win this one here, and I think that the Saints cover and keep it close, by maybe about a field goal game. This game will be really close going into the fourth, and the Patriots will win it by a field goal. So give me New England. Next matchup we got here. The Cleveland Browns travel to Pittsburgh to face the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1 o'clock on CBS. Pittsburgh is a 6.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, who we like in this one here?
Well, this is my dog of the week. I got the Browns. I like that defense, and Dylan Gabriel actually played very good. Played very good against the Minnesota Vikings, and Vikings has got a pretty good defense. He didn't he might have turned the ball over, but they damn near pulled that game out against the Vikings. And to do that much against the Leslie Frazier defense is pretty good. So I got the Browns upsetting the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Gage, what do you think about Gordon's pick, and what do you got?
I vote to ban Gordon from the podcast now. But you know who else had a good game against the Vikings defense back in Dublin? Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and Kenneth Gainwell, too. Just about hitting 100 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. I'm worried. It is a rookie quarterback, and Tomlin has had great success in the past against rookie quarterbacks. However, like Gordon mentioned, it is the Browns defense. You still got to worry about Myles Garrett. You still got to worry about Denzel Ward. Don't got to worry about Greg Newsome anymore, which is pretty nice.
Tyson Campbell.
I mean, basically flip-flopping there. I'm not too sure about that. However, the Steelers, I don't know. It's always a trap game. It always is. Likely without Calvin Austin at the number 2 receiver position this week. He's still dealing with a shoulder injury. Who's going to slide into number 2? Couldn't tell you. Probably Ben Skoranek for all I know. Or maybe I'll get a Roman Wilson sighting. That'd be pretty nice. And then Jalen Ramsey, I believe, is dealing with an injury. We mentioned it, or at least I mentioned it after the Dublin game on here, that he did a fake pulled hamstring celebration on a fumble return touchdown that got called back, and then pulled his hamstring later on in the game. And I'm pretty sure I just saw the injury report earlier today that he's still dealing with that. Yeah, so there's that to deal with. But I can't. Screw Cleveland. Give me the Steelers. They give me the Steelers to cover as well.
Before I pick here real quick, I was just watching the Prime after the game's over with, and they're interviewing Cam Scattaboo. And he hulks, does the Hulk Hogan, tears the shirt off, and Ryan Fitzpatrick does the same, and they're both out there with no shirt on. They chest bump each other, and it's just madness right now in New Jersey right now. But anyways, so this game right here, Cleveland last week, Dylan Gabriel, his first start, 190 passing yards. Didn't look too bad. He didn't turn the ball over. Quinshon Judkins, 110 yards rushing, really coming on the past few weeks, looking pretty good. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, they're in the driver's seat in the AFC North. 3-1, coming off of a bye. After that game against the Vikings, looked pretty good, looked really good. This defense is going to be a whole lot different than what they faced so far. I believe Cleveland may have the best defense in the NFL right now. Just offensively, they don't have the stuff to match it. This is going to be a real tight game here. I think that Pittsburgh wins this game, but I think it's going to be by about a field goal. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be close. Maybe first team to 17 wins this game actually here in Pittsburgh. But if you want to see, a sloppy game here, hard-nosed defensive game, not much offense, this is a game for you. Check it out, 1 o'clock Sunday. But, I've got Pittsburgh here.
I will bring one thing up. You brought about Aaron Rodgers had a good game against Leslie Frazier. He's also seen him quite a lot.
Brian Flores.
Yeah, Brian Flores. Sorry. I keep saying Leslie Frazier. Yeah, he was over there for a long time, too. Yeah, but he's seen Brian Flores a lot. There ain't a defense Aaron Rodgers hasn't seen at least 5 times.
No.
Yeah. And this may be one of the better ones he's seen this year.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm holding out a lot of hope for this one. If it was still Kenny Pickett, I'd be like, Cleveland. All right, next question.
Gage is all in on the Aaron Rodgers bandwagon right now.
And he should.
He's got the jersey in the cart, ready to hit checkout, but he's just waiting. He's just waiting just a little bit longer, but he's there.
As soon as the first playoff game is won, or if they get the number 1 seed and have the bye game or bye week, putting in my credit card information, and it will be delivered before the next game happens.
He's got credit card information in there now. Don't let him tell you any different. He just got to hit place order, and that's all he's waiting on. All right, so our next 1 o'clock matchup. Oh, man, there's a little bit of story around this one here. The Dallas Cowboys travel to Carolina to face the Carolina Panthers at 1 o'clock on Fox. Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite. But will Jerry Jones remember Rico Dowdle when he comes into play here, Gage?
If he does, Jerry Jones might get fined another $250,000 for some gestures that he might throw towards Dowdle's way. Yeah, just some hand waving.
It's a hand waving, yeah, not a particular finger or anything.
He just forgot the other 4 appendages on the hand when he was waving.
His hand just got really numb, so he only had one finger.
Yeah, arthritis.
Yeah.
But watching the Cowboys, their offense, even without CeeDee Lamb, somehow, some way, is still really good. Pickens beat Sauce Gardner last week. And even the number 2, Jake, I think was his first name, Fluoride. Flower now. I'm not really too sure which one it was.
Flournoy.
The Dubby.
I saw a stat earlier today that Flournoy and Javonte Williams were the first Cowboys running back wide receiver to each have 100+ yards in the first half of a game. Not Zeke Dez, not anybody else, but yeah. But Javonte Williams and Jake Flower now. The defense, however, little iffy, but last week they played the Jets. Not much of a test, unless it's week 1 and they're going against Pittsburgh, but that's a set. Panthers, you put up 200+ yards with Rico Dowdle, as Eric Collins said it. But can you really hold on to it? I don't think so. Give me the Cowboys, and I'm going to take them to
Gordon.
Panthers are at home. Panthers are undefeated at home. I got the Panthers. For real, I do. I mean, it's kind of like I struggle taking the Cowgirls unless it's a 100% solid. I know they're going to win. If there's any doubt, I'm going with the other team. I just don't like them.
So I don't know here if Gordon is just going against the Cowboys every week or if he's doubling down on the Panthers winning at home like he did last week. We mocked him last week. I ain't mocking him this week because it could happen. Rico Dowdle, after the game, he said, Jerry Jones didn't even know who I was. He's going to know who I am after next Sunday. So, hey, revenge game for Rico. I don't think so. Dallas's offense has looked really good this season, like you said, with CeeDee Lamb, without CeeDee Lamb. Doesn't matter. Why are you putting him at running back when you do have him in there? Have him as a wide receiver because that's what he is. Javonte Williams has looked pretty good rushing the ball. Dak Prescott right now is an MVP candidate right now at this moment in time. Now, that defense, I mean, they're going to give up a bunch. You take the over in any game you got with Dallas in it right now. It's going to be an over because they're going to put up points on anybody. If they could put up 40 on that Packers defense, who is elite, they could put up points on anybody. I like Dallas in this one to win. I think Carolina's going to cover that 3.5 though, because I think Rico's going to have a pretty big game too. Because I don't think Dallas has got much of a defense, but they're going to outscore the Panthers in this one.
And are we sure it's not going to end in a tie this week?
I don't know. Anybody want to pick a tie while we're here right now? Anybody? Gordon?
No.
No ties on this one.
We hate ties.
We do hate ties.
I told you my solution on how to fix that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying last week on the podcast. I was like, but I told you, I was like, in that game, though, your Packers would have lost.
Oh, no doubt. We got our asses kicked.
Yeah, Brandon Aubrey would have definitely kicked the field goal there the longest. But anyways, so nobody picking a tie on this one, so we'll move on to the next one. And this one could be a good one right here. That is the Seattle Seahawks travel to Jacksonville to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1:00 on Fox. Jacksonville's a 1.5-point favorite. Gordon, how many times is Trevor Lawrence going to trip and fall before he gets back up and rolls into the end zone?
Well, he wouldn't have made it if Chris Jones hadn't stopped. He was sitting there scratching his butt, I think.
Yeah.
But I've got the Seahawks going across country because that offense is actually moving. And no one's figured out the answer to covering Jackson Smith and Jigba this year. Ohio State alum. Emeka Ibuka, Ohio State alum. He's not on that team, but you get what I'm saying.
We'll get to
Travion Henderson, Ohio State alum.
Justin Fields,
Ohio State alum. Hey, I don't care. I'll say it. Garrett Wilson. Anyways, there's a lot of them. There's one in New Orleans, too, but he's got a shitty quarterback and can't hardly get the ball. So
Olave.
But I got the Seahawks going across country. Yeah, of course they're going to cover because they're dogs.
The Road Dogs. Gage, who we like in this one here?
I think that stumble play last week was actually a designed called play, kind of like what the Lions had last year on the fake stumble, and then Goff just tossed it downfield to Laporta. Except this week, Liam Cohen was like, listen, guys, we're inside the 5. Trevor, you fall and run. And that's exactly what happened. So I think it was just all part of the plan. And then afterwards, Cohen went Duval. But I don't think it's going to happen this week. Give me the Seahawks in this one. Was mentioned. Jackson Smith and Jigba is Calvin Johnson this year for some reason. And I think it's going to continue, especially if he's matched up with Greg Newsome.
Guys, this scares me right here because I'm on Seattle's bandwagon too right here, guys. That game last week with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Seattle was an entertaining back and forth shootout. Fun game to watch. Sam Darnold, we all said he's a system quarterback. He's a product of the Viking system. He's out there proving this year that maybe not. Maybe he just took him a while to get going. He's played pretty good. Kenneth Walker has played well. Charbonnet, Smith and Jigba, A.J. Barner coming out here and catching touchdown passes every week. For them, Jacksonville had a big win against Kansas City. They put up a bunch of points. Trevor Lawrence's birthday. Design play or not, I don't know on that. But Chris Jones, like you said, he took the play off, just laid down, whatever. Hey, I'm just going to go over here and hang out. Oh, look, he's still down. Oh, no, he's back up. Oh, well, who cares? Let him go on into the end zone. But I like Seattle in this one too, guys. Like I said, this kind of scares me a little bit. We're all picking the road dogs here, Jesse James, to win this one. So give me Seattle as well. And, of course, Seattle covers because they're the road dogs. The last 1 o'clock matchup of the week. The L.A. Rams travel to Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens. 1 o'clock on Fox. The Rams are a 7.5-point favorite at Baltimore. Gage, what do we think here?
The Ravens proved last week that Cooper Rush probably not the answer. Now, the Houston defense, we've talked about it. They're pretty good, but the offense usually for Houston is not good, and they threw up 44 points. The Rams might put up 70 in this one. Give me the Rams and give me the points.
Couldn't agree more. I think you could give the Ravens 15 points, and I'd still take the Rams in the points. I think Jared Verse is going to have a field day. I mean, if Cooper Rush plays, I'd say you could probably lay a bet he ends up with 3 sacks.
I don't think it matters if Cooper Rush plays in this game or if Snoop Huntley plays for the Ravens. That defense is horrible for Baltimore, and that's something we don't ever say about Baltimore's defense, like ever. The whole time they've been around, they've always had a good defense. They don't this year at all. So even if Lamar was back, I don't know. Derrick Henry hasn't got going this year at all. They're a mess right now in Baltimore, and I think it continues this week. I like the Rams to win this one. Puka Nacua may get 15 catches this week once again, 200 yards. He gets that on regular defenses, so, I mean, if he's going to get it, he'll get more than that against Baltimore this week maybe. So I like the Rams in this one. I like the Rams to cover, too, on the road at Baltimore.
I think he might say, I've got 15 catches, 200 yards. Throw the ball to Devontae Adams, let him get 15 catches and 200 yards as well.
Yeah, he may. And then what's the tight end they got out there? They got like several of Donaldson, maybe. Let him get some touches, because, I mean, it's going to be a lot of yards for that offense.
Just let me stand back here and throw the ball. I'm pretty sure I can complete it too.
So our first 4 o'clock matchup we're going to hit, and that is the Tennessee Titans traveling to Vegas to face the Las Vegas Raiders. 4:05 on Fox. The Vegas Raiders are 4.5-point favorites in this one. Gordon, who do you like here?
I don't like neither one of them, but if I have to pick, let me ask you a question because I haven't been keeping up with this. Is Brock Bowers, is he back? Or is he still out?
He's still day-to-day.
I'm still going to take the Raiders, but not the cover. I don't know what to pick because they're horrible.
Gage.
I have to agree. I'm in the same boat. I would prefer to just skip this game in general and just act like it doesn't exist. Brock Bowers does change it a little bit much from Brock Bowers being out. With Brock Bowers being out, let's have a little bit of fun again. Let's go with the Titans. They picked up their first win last week. Let's make it 2 in a row, and Cam Ward starts, getting a huge ego, and then he gets brought back to earth next week. Give me the Titans.
Oh, man, so the Raiders last week just got dog-walked at Indy. Looked horrible. Geno Smith's leading the league with 9 interceptions so far through 5 games. Not good. Pete Carroll's over here wondering why he came out of retirement to coach the Raiders at this point in time. Ashton Genty's not been so bad the past couple of weeks, but you're still getting beat by 34 points on the road. You welcome in the Titans team who, well, let's just say they backed into a win last week at the Cardinals because the Cardinals didn't want to win that game. Man, this is one of those games where you don't feel good either way. Raiders are at home. I'm going to pick the Raiders in this one. I think the Titans cover because it's going to be a game of suck. And the Titans, they, as Cam Ward said, we ass, they still ass. So give me the Raiders in this one. Our next matchup, 425. Now you talk about flipping the script a little bit here. This is going to be a lot better game than the last one, maybe. The San Francisco 49ers travel to Tampa Bay to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 425 on CBS. Tampa Bay is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Gage, what do you think about that?
Apparently, it doesn't matter who plays quarterback or who plays receiver for this team because anybody can just go and have 10 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know what's going on over there under the Shanahan tree, but maybe everyone there needs a random drug test because, man, there's something going on. The Bucs, they've kind of had this like storyline going a little bit this season to where their wins all come within like the last 30 seconds of the game. I think that's going to continue this week. Give me the Bucs in this one. They're at home, and I think it's going to come down to a Chase McLaughlin field goal that he hits with, we'll say, 17 seconds to go from 33 yards out.
I need it to be longer than that. He's my kicker on fantasy, so.
Me too, but I was just trying to make it like a normal one.
Gordon, who we like here?
I'm going to do something I haven't done this year. I'm going against the 49ers. I pick 49ers every week. Christian McCaffrey is my one of my running backs, so I still want him to have a good game. I'd like the final score to be 42-45.
Could be.
And Christian McCaffrey scored 6 touchdowns, so that would help me out a ton. But no, I think the Bucs will cover because they're going to win by 3.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay in this game too. Emeka Buka is my wide receiver, so I would like for him to continue his Rookie of the Year campaign. Baker Mayfield, guys, dark horse MVP candidate here too. I mentioned Dak Prescott earlier. You got to throw Baker Mayfield in that category too as well right now.
Yeah, I would say so. Baker has definitely matured, you could also say, from his time in Cleveland. We all know Baker has turned into basically this franchise quarterback. He's now on his 4th team, I think it is. And, if you just want to look back, we all like making fun of the Browns. They're currently paying 8 quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, gone. Fedora Sanders, Bailey Zappi, DTR, gone. Kenny Pickett, gone. So this is a very Browns thing to happen. But also, what other quarterback was traded midweek here a couple years ago and led this team to a victory? Baker Mayfield. I don't know what you want to say about the guy. Will it happen in Cleveland with Joe Flacco or Cincinnati with Joe Flacco? Probably not. But I had to throw that one out there. Baker for MVP? I could absolutely see it, especially if he keeps slinging it to Emeka Buka and he keeps catching it like he is.
Yeah, and like you said, you could throw anybody out there right now, seems like, at quarterback. Mac Jones is Purdy, I think, is out. Mac Jones is on the injury report. I don't know who they've got as their 3rd stringer back there. I think we talked about it. Was it Martinez?
Yeah.
Martinez.
Yeah, Adrian Martinez.
Yeah. So that's their guy. I don't think he's as good as Mac Jones or Brock Purdy. So everybody's talking like Mac Jones come in and he's doing something amazing. The guy was still a 1st-round pick. Sometimes it's just a change of scenery. Things didn't work out in New England for him. He played pretty decent last year. Him and Brian Thomas Jr. had a thing going on down there in Jacksonville. So, you got a really good backup in the Niners. But it's everybody else, too. You got Christian McCaffrey. He's been healthy for the most part. The receivers, when you're out here throwing to Kendrick Bourne and guys like that, Tongas, that's when it's like, okay, now I'm starting to get a little bit more impressed here. And that's all back on Kyle Shanahan right there. The guy can just flat out coach offense. So I like Tampa Bay in this one. We're going like different than what we did last year. This would be a total spot where we'd be like, yeah, Niners come in and win this game because we were total Tampa haters last year, and we've kind of had a change of heart a little bit here. Give me the Bucs. I'm with you guys. Chase McLaughlin doinks in a field goal at the end, a 60-yarder for the Tampa Bay win at home. Our last 4:00 game, 4:25 on CBS. The Cincinnati Bengals travel to Lambeau to face the Green Bay Packers in the frozen tundra. Well, it won't be frozen, but, hey, the Green Bay Packers are a 14.5-point favorite at home. Man, can we get a little respect here? Gage, what do you think about this one?
That's where, if anyone's watching the video version here on YouTube, and, the little thing there across the bottom came up, I read 14.5 and went, huh? That is one of the biggest lines I think I've seen. However, I feel disrespected earlier in this podcast. I think what's going to happen is Joe Flacco is going to come to Cincinnati, and he's going to learn this playbook very quick. He has all the stuff packed up, he moved, and then he's going to turn around, get on the team plane, fly to Green Bay for the second time this season. Give me the Bengals in this one, and obviously give me the points as well.
All right. Upset underdog pick of the week by 4. Gordon?
Yeah, he said that first pick was his upset of the week. No, that would have to be the upset of the week.
Well, the first one was the upset pick, and so there was a disrespectful pick on this podcast.
Hey, I didn't disrespect your team. I just said I thought Cleveland was going to win. I get your point. It is the Browns and Steelers. You know who I'm taking. Out of sheer, I mean, even that one year, me and you talked about whenever they had a horrible year, when Aaron Rodgers was injured and Brett Hundley and all them was our starting quarterbacks. Our only win that year after he went down was we barely beat the Browns. I still took the Packers every week. I got the Packers.
So, guys, this right here, Joe Flacco coming in, got his new jersey, barely knows the whole team right here. Old man Flacco, Unk, as they're calling him, I believe now. Maybe I just said that. Going up to Green Bay, he learns the playbook fast, is what Zach Taylor says. Okay. Green Bay's defense. Now, here's an interesting stat. The Green Bay Packers traded for Micah Parsons early in the season, right? Micah Parsons has 4 solo tackles on the year. Jamar Chase has 5 solo tackles. I mean, who's Travis Hunter here? I mean, come on, the two-way player here. Anyways, that's not a good stat to have for your star wide receiver. I think the Bengals will look better than they have in the past few weeks. I know that Packers defense is really good, but I think Flacco's a better option than Browning. But I think Green Bay wins this game, but I think the Bengals cover.
Steelers fan, the only one that goes with the Bengals in this game.
Because the Packers fan picked the Browns against the Steelers. I'm pretty sure if the Packers fan went with Pittsburgh, it would be a clean sweep right here. Flacco has to come out and he's got to prove something to me before I start.
There is something that he has in Cincinnati that he did not have in Cleveland.
Playmakers.
Number 1. Yeah, Jamar Chase. That's kind of like when you play Ohio State and you're trying to cover number 4. It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah. But they still don't have a running game, and that offensive line has been horrible. So that's what's got me worried. Micah Parsons may have 4 solo tackles alone in this game. He may pass Chase. So, yeah, that leads us now into Sunday night, and this one should be a fun one, fellas. The Detroit Lions traveling to Kansas City at 8. The Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite at home. Gage, what are we thinking here?
Boy, this obviously I'm taking this for game of the week. Chiefs coming off a horrible Jaguars loss. I mean, you have the Trevor Lawrence stumble play for a touchdown, but then you also have the 99-yard pick 6 of Devin Lloyd on Patrick Mahomes. That we didn't talk about that with the Jags defense at all when we went over their game, but it is something to kind of keep in the back of the mind a little bit. The Chiefs just overall have not been the Chiefs that we know of the past couple years. The running game especially. Isaiah Pacheco, basically non-existent. Kareem Hunt, again, it's like the back half of last season. He's getting more touches. He's getting more goal line goes. But then the one guy I'm looking to kind of maybe have a breakout here one of these weeks, has to be coming soon, is Brashard Smith. They're getting him in there a little bit more each week. He's been catching some passes, not really running a lot, but he's more the pass catcher. But I'm just curious of when he'll step into the number 1, number 2 role. I don't think it'll be this week, but the Lions offense, they're incredible. The defense as well is mediocre, but who needs a great defense when you have a great offense? Cough, Bengals, cough. So give me the Lions in this one. Obviously, being the underdogs, they get the points.
Gordon, NFC North rival here. Who you like?
God, I don't want to. I don't, but I'm not going to. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think they had a rough start because they were missing Rashee Rice, plain and simple. And then third play of the game, Travis Kelce body checks Xavier Worthy, knocks him out for 3 weeks. The whole game plan the first week was around Xavier Worthy's speed. You can't use that if he's over on the sideline getting carried out on a cart. Travis Kelce's got to be careful. His right arm outweighs Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is a toothpick running down the field, but he is fast. So I don't know how, but I think Andy Reid and Spags is going to figure out a way to win this, to call a game that's going to win this.
So the Chiefs, they're favored at home. Last week, you mentioned the running game for the Chiefs has been non-existent. When Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher, that's not a good sign because Patrick Mahomes, he can scramble around a little bit, but when he's your leading rusher, on multiple weeks, that's not a good sign for your running game. It's like the Bengals last week. Jake Browning was the leading rusher. Guess what? The Bengals lost because that's not good. Xavier Worthy, he's still kind of getting back into things. They got the ball to him 6 times last week. He had 42 yards passing. There's kind of little screen passes here and there, little jet sweeps and stuff, trying to get him out in space. The Jaguars did a pretty good job against him. Tyquan Thornton has been a, pretty good revelation for the Chiefs this year, coming out of nowhere. I mean, was he on the Patriots practice squad? And then now he's out here leading the team in receiving. On the other hand, the Lions last week, David Montgomery's out here throwing touchdown passes, rushing for touchdown passes. And, I mean, they're playing with the Bengals. They're toying with the Bengals. 28-3 is what it was. And then the Bengals kind of, hey, we're going to make it a game here in the fourth quarter. Not really even that close to think about there, but I think the Lions go into Kansas City here, and I think the Lions get an upset. Give me the Lions on the road. I think that offense is going to continue to be good. This should be a good, fun matchup to watch. I think a lot of points are getting scored in here. I don't know what the over is. I didn't see, but I'm taking the over in this game right here. And now we head to Monday night. 2 games on Monday night this week. 7:15, the Buffalo Bills, coming off their first loss of the season, travel to Atlanta to face the Atlanta Falcons. 7:15 on ESPN, the Buffalo Bills are a 4.5-point favorite. Gordon, who you liking here?
I'm going to call for a Bills bounce back game. They're going to win, they're going to cover, and they're going to cover by a lot. I thought the Falcons were going to be halfway decent because I figured they would figure out a way to use Kyle Pitts. Now, they did use him a little bit, but not nearly as much as they're going to need to. Bijan Robinson's a good running back, but James Cook is a good running back, and Josh Allen is a way better quarterback than what they got. So give me the Bills, and I said they're going to cover by a lot. The dome is not really a home field advantage. It's a dome.
Gage, do you like Penix and the boys over there, or?
No, I got to agree with Gordo on this one. I think Bill's going to get back on track, score a lot of points, and the Falcons are going to continue some misery. Give me the Bills. Give me the points in this one.
The Falcons, as you said, they haven't got Pitts going. They haven't got Pitts going his whole career, to be fair. We don't know what the Falcons are this year. Are they a good team or are they a bad team? They got shut out to the Panthers. Then they beat the Commanders, I know, without Jaden Daniels. Buffalo, they're coming off of a loss. They're not going to be too happy. You just kept feeling like the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, they're on this drive here. They're going to come down. They're going to score. They're going to take care of it. Game's going to be over with. They're going to put the Patriots away. It never really happened. James Cook had 49 yards rushing. Josh Allen led the team in rushing, which, okay, that's a little bit different than if, Jake Browning leads your team in rushing, right? It's a little bit different right there. Josh Allen's the better quarterback. He's got the better weapons. They're going to be mad, looking for revenge on the road. I think they bounce back, get the win on Monday night. Give me Buffalo. Give me a Buffalo cover, too. I think they win pretty good amount here. And that leads us to our finale for the week, and that is the Chicago Bears traveling to Maryland to face the Washington Commanders at 8:15 on ABC. The Commanders are a 4.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do you think here?
Bears coming off a bye week. They had a pretty good game against the Cowboys a few weeks ago. I'm not saying they're going to win, but their offense is really good. And they did damn near stop Dak Prescott. He couldn't hardly do nothing. So I would say because of Jaden Daniels and the way he could run, I got the Commanders winning, but they will not cover. It will only be a field goal game.
Gage?
I'm in agreement. Commanders field goal game, but I think it's actually going to be a really good game. Probably, 20 to 30 points for each team and a lot of excitement going on. Give me the Commanders, but yeah, Bears cover.
A rematch of last year's game, the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick in last year's draft 2024. This was the Hail Mary game for the Commanders, Jaden Daniels. Tyreek Stevenson's out there celebrating before the play is over with, and then the Hail Mary happens. The Commanders win. I think that the Commanders are probably going to win this game too. I think it's going to be a competitive game here, though. The Bears, they're coming off of a bye. Daniels is back for the Commanders. They looked really good against the Chargers last week. And what about Bill Merritt out there having a really good game for the Commanders? You see why they traded away Brian Robinson Jr. He had over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, looked really good. His name's Jacory, but everybody calls him Bill for whatever reason. It makes perfect sense to everybody in the world. But I think it's going to be a really good game. It may come down to another Hail Mary. I doubt it. But if it does, I would say Stevenson's probably not going to be celebrating before the play's done. Give me the Commanders in this one. And I think that I think the Bears cover too. I'm with you guys on that. So, yeah, so there's the games for the week. And buys, the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans are off this week. Only 2 teams on the bye, week 6. Guys, what do we think about it?
Well, I got this. Mr. Bill, I did pick him up in fantasy, so I got him starting. So, yeah, I win a big game, yeah. I think it's going to be a good week of football. Yeah, there's going to be some clunkers in the middle there somewhere, but I hope we all don't go 6 and whatever. I mean, I think it kind of looked like if people was watching us, they probably looked at these guys suck.
And hey, if we do suck again, call us out on it. I'm good with criticism. I love it when you guys get on here and comment whatever to us. I can take it. I can take the criticism. I'll come back at you and be like, look, we'll come back next week, maybe. We got Joe Flacco as our quarterback. So,
and you know what, going off of that, depending on, what your comment is about, you might even get a reply. Hey, who knows? Probably from me, but hey.
Yeah, we had a comment last week where it said Bengals and the Steelers. And I was like, yeah, what about it? And then he's like, Bengals got Flacco today. And I'm like, I was like, nice comeback, guys. But yeah, so next Thursday, the Bengals travel to Pittsburgh to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. And man, we'll see how Sunday goes first to see if that's even worth anything or not.
I'm scared for that one. Like I mentioned it earlier on, I will be at work during the game, which sucks even more. But I know that I'm going to be like, dealing with customers and stuff and just going, let's go, or what are we doing? And either way, I'm looking forward to it.
It'd be a perfect time for us to just live stream. You could live stream, I'll watch the game here. You be there working with the phone there, watching the game, and live streaming at the same time. I think it would work out really well.
Yeah, I'm sure that would not go horrible at all.
We'll see how things go this Sunday. Should be a good slate of football here. There's a few good games up. I think the game of the week is actually the Niners and the Buccaneers. I think that's what I'm going to go with as my game of the week. Gordon, what do you think your game of the week is going to be?
Actually, I think the game of the week is going to be Monday night. Commanders game.
Commanders and the Bears. Engage.
I'm going to go with what I said earlier, Lions Chiefs.
Yeah, so I think there's 3 really good games right there.
There's another game of the week we didn't even mention. Yeah, but the problem is it's a WEAK week. It's the Raiders game. Game of the week.
And before we get off here real quick, let me just mention right here that the UFL, we haven't covered it much on this podcast, but starting next spring, we're going to get into some UFL, right? We got a DC Defenders fan here, and starting next spring, we will have the Louisville Kings in the UFL. Let's go.
Gives you a team to root for now.
Gives me a team to root for.
Even if you don't like the logo or the colors or the name.
Right. It's still a team.
Yeah. 3 teams moved, didn't they?
Yes.
One of them's moving to Columbus.
Columbus Aviators.
Yeah.
The Dallas Renegade, or the Houston Renegades coming from Dallas.
Well, piss on them.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, Louisville and Dayton are the 2 that are getting 2 brand new teams. So yeah.
I want to say it's the Houston Gamblers. Yeah, it's the Houston Gamblers that they Would you? Yes, it was the Renegades. But it's kind of funny because sports gambling is not allowed in Texas.
What a name, then. It's like there's no Kings in Kentucky, so why are they the Louisville Kings? Like, you could have named a whole bunch of other ones. And they put a horse up there, too. Like, what? The colors, green? Like, if you're at least going to do the colors, like, give us purple or something. Like, blue and white or blue and red mix for Louisville and Kentucky.
No, if you're going to be, if it's going to be horses, brown uniforms.
What? No, I want none of that.
No, it can be horse shit brown.
No. We've already got that in the NFL. We need something a little, I guess maybe the green. I don't know. But anyways.
It could be baby shit green.
That's probably what they're going with here, I guess. I don't know if Gage sent me a thing the other day and I said, I like they're getting a team. I just don't like the logo, the name, or the colors. Other than that, I'll probably buy a shirt. We'll talk about it next year on here. But yeah, that's a little something to look forward to in spring ball now, guys.
And, I might have to go travel to D.C. to go see a D.C. Defenders game versus the Louisville Kings.
Here we go. And before we get off here real quick, too, baseball. The Dodgers advanced tonight on a pitcher's error. The Cubs were up 5-0 last I seen. I don't know how that's going to maybe force a game 5.
Yep, they forced a game 5 after 3 homers during the game.
Yuck. And then Seattle faces Detroit tomorrow to see who goes to the ALCS. And the Blue Jays beat the Yankees. And I don't know if you've seen the post-game interview with Vladdy Jr., but he said, Yankees lose.
I'm just so glad the Yankees are out.
Yes. Now, if we can get the Dodgers out of there and the Cubs, I'm fine with whoever wins at that point in time.
Yeah.
Well, guys, got anything else to add here to this here podcast this week? All right, I think we've covered everything, and check back in with us next week. We'll see if our picks are any better than what they was. Like I said, if you got any comments, we ain't afraid of them. Send them out here, and we'll get back with you all, and we'll see you all next week.
Later.